You can sense the intensity as they await the arrival of the Tennessee team here at Cleveland Stadium. The number one undefeated Volunteers prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
What's up, YouTubes? What's up, everybody out there in college football land? I'm already having withdrawal for football. We still got the NFL, but nothing, I mean nothing, holds a candle to college football. And everybody that saw my fan face-off, FFO number 7, it was one of our better fan face-offs between Clemson's own Pigskin Peete and the legendary Alabama YouTuber Lawtide. And I've got them both on the show today. You know, I'm trying to make this show entertaining for all college football fans out there, and I'm glad to see you guys are starting to log in. But we're going to have a post-game recap. The last one I did, I had some audio problems. This OBS program that I run had a little glitch, and I needed to do an update. So we're going to pick up where me and Couch Coach left off. And these two guys are on opposite ends of the spectrum. And I want y'all guys that are coming in here, if you like this show, hit that like button. And if you don't like it, hit that thumbs down button. And if you're new here, subscribe to me and hit that bell, because I'm going to continue to do college football videos throughout the off season. I've got some other YouTubers lined up that are going to make me some year-end recaps of their team that I'm going to post on my channel. There's a lot going on still in college football. We've got National Signing Day coming up, but this is what everybody wants to hear about. They want to hear Lawtide and Pigskin Peete, and I want to go ahead and bring them on the show. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Doing good, good, good. Are you there, Lawtide?
He might still be muted.
He might still be muted. Well, I had Lawtide on here. Let me see if I lost him. Maybe we'll call him up and we'll see what's going on with him. I'm gonna have to call him back. Let me call him back. Lawtide, I'm calling you back. Something happened. I don't know what happened, but here you go. I'm calling Lawtide back. Somehow he got kicked off. He might have hit the end button instead of the mute button, but we'll get him back on. But anyway, Pigskin Peete.
Hey, hello.
How you doing, Lawtide? Something happened there.
I'm doing all right.
I want to ask.
It's all good.
I want to ask Pigskin Peete, how are you feeling right now? Tell me how you're feeling after that big win.
It's a mixture of elation and pure exhaustion. I'm running on about 40%, both physically and mentally right now. But I mean, it's been a great week. I just need to catch up on my sleep. You know what I mean? It's that night I didn't sleep, and the same thing happened a couple of years ago, the 2016 national championship. I didn't sleep for a couple of days. I mean, well, not 2 whole days, but I mean, just naps in between. And it's been a hell of a week at the Pigskin Peete household, and I just need some sleep, man. That's all I can say.
Well, it was a heck of a ball game. Anybody that says they saw 44-16 Clemson winning is a dang liar. I didn't see it coming. Unless you're just some delusional fan, you may have said you saw it coming, but deep down you didn't believe it. I tell you what, sometimes it's just your night, and sometimes it's not your night, and I think that had a lot to do with it. So tell me, Lawtide, have you gotten over it yet?
No. No, it'll take me a while to get over it. And this one hurts. This one hurts real bad because after the first quarter, we weren't really in the game. I mean, a lot of it was us, but a lot of it was Clemson too. They played outstanding. They brought their A game, and we brought our D game. I don't think, the defense stayed in Tuscaloosa, I guess. But, man, I was proud of us, how we fought back after the interception there. But after that, it just seemed like they had momentum. They wasn't giving it up. And they beat us in the ground. And we can do. Our defensive line could not get in on Lawrence. Lawrence played an awesome football game.
Yeah.
That kid's going to be something special for the next couple of years. And, if anybody's going to beat them, that's who they're going to have to go through. If anybody wants to win that championship, they're going to have to go through Clemson right now.
Well,
so it's back to the drawing board for Alabama.
Well, before the game, it really looked like Tennessee was going to have to play Alabama in the national championship because y'all were top dogs. It didn't look like nobody can stop you. But after this game, it really probably is odds-on favorite if you go to Vegas that they're going to have Tennessee up against Clemson. So, Pigskin, you better have Dabo getting them boys ready, getting them all practiced up because we're coming for you. Anyway, all joking aside, well, really not joking. You got to believe in your team, and I believe in my team. Jeremy Pruitt's doing some good jobs on recruiting. We got Jim Chaney. I don't know how I feel about that just yet. Ask me the Sunday after the third Saturday in October, and I'll tell you how I feel about Jim Chaney.
I heard that.
So, Pigskin Pete, tell me how you saw the game. Give me a breakdown of how you saw this game and just how you were feeling throughout the game.
Well, it's like you said, that anybody, unless they were, being complete homers, did not see what happening, including myself. I mean, even on the fan face-off, I said it would be a close game. I said, 35-31 or something like that. And, that was pretty much the consensus across the country, whether it was just, fans of either team or whether it was, professionals on TV or so-called experts on TV. And but here's the thing, though. I knew, and I said this to Lawtide and you that night, is that I knew that this was the best Clemson team, top to bottom, that I've ever seen in my life. And I've been I've been a fan since '85, since I was a little kid. But let's say over the past 20 years since I've really been paying attention to it. Even better than the national championship team that had Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was a transcendent player, and he's the one that really carried the team on the back. But this year we were stacked from top to bottom, and I knew after watching Alabama and Clemson all year long that we matched up player to player at every position with them this year. And I knew, I had a feeling that we were going to win the game. I did not see it, the way it happening. But as far as how I felt watching it during the game, even after halftime, I still was not celebrating. I still was staying in my lane because we've seen Alabama last year come back against Georgia. We've seen Alabama come back against Georgia this year in the SEC title game. And Alabama's Alabama. You never count them out. But probably about towards the end of the third quarter, I pretty much knew it was over because, I don't know what happened with Alabama. And here's the credit to the Alabama fans, because I was expecting excuses. When you're someone like me who talks trash on YouTube and puts himself out there, you always have teams coming along and making excuses. And not one single Alabama fan came on my channel or on my social media outlets and made excuses. They just said you were the better team and we got whooped. So I got to give a major shout out to all the Alabama fans for that. But, I don't know. It's just, it was actually unbelievable to see what happened because nobody's ever seen that happen to a Nick Saban team, especially here in the past, few years when they've been dominant.
Well, Lawtide, I'm going to ask you the same question, but before we do, if anybody wants to call in and talk to Pigskin Pete or Lawtide or myself, the phone lines are open, 855-489-7623. Call the Allied Oil and Tire hotline and we'll put you on. But you walk me through the game. Tell me how you're feeling, when the game started, and when did you think it was over? Katie barred the door and it was over.
Well, probably after we come back and scored a touchdown and they come right back down the field and scored on us. Mm-hmm. It was, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I thought we'd get the momentum after we threw the big bomb to Judy. And I was like, here we go. We're going to get 3 and out again. But we could not get off the field on 3rd down. It killed us all night. I think they were 8 of 11 there at one time. And a lot of those were big chunk plays. And, the Ross kid, the freshman from Alabama, he was making big-time catches. And it wasn't like we wasn't on the kid. I mean, he was just coming up with some acrobatic catches. And, and that was just keeping his team fired up. And the momentum just kept on building and building. And finally the dam burst. And, man, it was Katie part of the door. And it was, I knew Nick was getting panicky over there when he ran that fake field goal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's something that we don't do. And that, that's something Georgia does. So for us to do that was really out of character. And you could see that, it was like, they're really prepared. I mean, in a lot of things, even when we were down on the goal line and on the 4th down when they stopped Tua going in down there, they knew we were running that play. I mean, it was just, they were over there in a second. I mean, everybody in America, it seemed like they knew they were running that we were running that play. And man, I just think that we, a lot of bad penalties, a lot of bad play calling. Coach Tosh needs to get his foot out of his butt and start coaching some defense and quit thinking he's all about the recruiting. I mean, he is a great recruiter. I'll give him that. But, I made a rant video like in the middle of the year. I think it might have been after the Arkansas game about how our defense, if they played like this, would get blown off the field in the playoffs. And I even said that. I said that, I said Clemson would probably, would blow us off the field. Georgia, all those teams would. If we came in and played that same defense, it would, just lackadaisical, get up 21 points, and just let the momentum go. Just let the other team get back in it. I mean, that's just how we beat a lot of teams. I mean, we just outscored them and, had our secondary in there or, our second strings in there and it didn't help a bit. I mean, I expected more from my football team, but they just didn't show it, and it hurts. And I know the fan base is hurting, but it's sometimes you need to get kicked in the teeth to humble yourselves. And maybe we was all too high on our high horses. Everybody wanting to get to the top, and finally, Clemson did it. And Dabo's got a great program going up there. He's doing good. He's doing good with his message that he's putting out, and it ain't what the process is doing. It's different. It's different what we're doing, and they got a great fan base, and that class fans like Pete, and man, I just hope we get another chance at him next year. Really do.
Well, we got a super chat from Shane Bentley. He said, hey there, Catfish SEC fans. Hopefully Cheney will bring you guys more diversity on offense. LOL. I think that's sarcasm. Here's to finding a new OC in D.C. Go Dogs. I tell you what, when you mentioned that fake field goal, I said to myself, did Nick Saban hire Les Miles and have him up there calling plays? I mean, I'd never in a million years would have thought that I would have seen Nick Saban calling a fake that early in the game. I don't know. But you know what?
Horrible. It was horrible.
But
how about the before the fake field goal? I don't know if it was like the beginning of the second half or maybe the end of the second quarter. I think it was the beginning of the second half when Alabama had a 4th and short on their own 35 and Saban went for it. I couldn't believe that he did that, and he's not known to do anything like that. Saban knew that they were getting blown off the ball, and that if they were going to get back in this game, they had to make something happen. That was sort of.
Well, not only that, we couldn't stop them on defense. We couldn't stop you on defense a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, when he came off at halftime, and they came up and talked to him and say, "Well, they're doing a lot of stuff we hadn't seen." Well, you mean they're doing a lot of stuff you hadn't seen? I mean, this is the 4th time we've played Clemson. What are you talking about? Yeah. And man, it was just we were just really. I mean, there's a lot of buzz out there, and it was just a good old country ass whooping. That's just basically all it was. But
I really
give them out. We've taken them. So
yeah, it was more than being outcoached and outplayed. I think this was a culmination, and really ever since the end of last season, when all these defensive linemen announced that they were coming back, and then the changing of the guard at quarterback early in the season, this team was on a mission from the time they got whooped by Alabama in the playoffs last year to win the national championship this year. And there was nothing that was going to stop them. And yeah, everyone say, oh, yeah, well, what about Syracuse? What about Texas A&M? Those are two games that they probably easily could have lost, but they didn't because, you know, that's what championship teams do. When all the chips are on the table and everything's on the line, you come through. And it's just one of those years, man. Clemson may have been the better team, but they just weren't going to be denied. And that showed from the beginning of the game to the end.
Well, Alabama was moving the ball between the 20s, but when they got in the red zone, it was almost like they had lead under their feet. I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. But Alabama will be back. Let's take a call. We got a 404 on the line. Let me get them on and see what they've got to say for us. You're on with Catfish, Lawtide, and Pigskin Peete. What you got for us?
Good evening, Catfish. It's Alan Z. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. Georgia fan.
Yes, sir. I've got a first ask Lawtide. Where is Jalen Hurts transferring to in his best guess? ACC school, Big 12. Where's he heading?
Man, the odds got him either going to Houston or dang, who was that other school? There's a bunch of schools that are after him.
Here's what Vegas says. Here's what Vegas has. They have Houston as plus 150, Arizona plus 300, Maryland plus 400, UCLA plus 500, TCU plus 500, Florida State plus 750, Florida Gators, Louisville, and Tennessee all at plus 1,000. That's what the odds are in Vegas.
Good God, Louisville. Oh man, hell no.
You know who would be a good? You know where a good fit would be for Jalen Hurts, and I hate to say it, and that's Auburn.
Yeah,
he'd be a good fit down there. They need a quarterback, and you know, I know Alabama fans would flip. I'd flip too, but everybody, that would be a perfect fit for him.
That absolutely is right on the money, Lawtide. He fits their offensive scheme to a T. I don't know why he would not think about that seriously. I mean, I know he's a Bama man through and through, but he fits that scheme to a T. So that's the first thing I thought of when he.
I agree 100%. When Kelly Bryant was being shopped around, I went on video and said I was almost 100% sure that Bryant was going to go to Auburn.
I remember.
And we all know that Hurts and they had very similar skill sets, and so I agree. I think that Hurts would fit perfect in that system.
All right, this one's for Catfish.
Yes, sir.
I got one for Catfish. Jim Chaney is now the most highest paid offensive coordinator in the country. If the shoe was on the other foot, do you think Kirby could have made the decision to keep Chaney as the OC with that kind of money floating around out there after being demoted? Most people don't realize this. After last year's overtime loss to Bama, he split the defensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator. He changed some of the responsibility to another coach, Coach Coley.
Yeah. Well, I heard on one of the Georgia podcasts I've listened to that they offered Chaney a whole bunch of money. I don't know how much, but they offered Chaney a whole bunch of money.
But I mean, you can't just keep bidding higher and higher. Yeah. You got to put a limit somewhere.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what Tennessee's playing them, but that's just I've heard it's over $1 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know one thing: we need to. Vol Nation needs to visit every Golden Corral buffet and talk to the manager and say, hey, give him a 30-minute limit in the buffet line. And I don't know how I feel about him. I don't know. Personally, my gut reaction was we've already had him once. I don't want him again. Everybody's saying he's a home run hire. All the Tennessee fans are loving this hire. I'm not in love with it. I'm going to say, okay, Jeremy Pruitt, this is on you. And I'm going to wait and see. I told Lawtide, ask me after the third Saturday in October, after hopefully we beat Alabama, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about him. I know Georgia fans were ready to run him out of town many times this year. Are you there?
But he's an excellent OC, knows his stuff, good speaker, excellent communicator. He's a top-flight coach. Yeah. I hope he does, great work over there. But he's got to really work on some talent over there. He's got a big, laundry list of things he needs over there to be successful. Last thing. I just wanted to tell everybody I met Pete online this year, Pigskin Peete, and I had no idea the dream season he was going to have here when I first met him at the beginning of the year. I trolled him at the beginning of the year, just clowning around with him, but I got to know him a little bit over the year, and he is a dedicated Clemson man through and through. Absolutely. And I couldn't be happier for the young man.
Absolutely.
Great job there this year, Pete. Great videos. Great calling your Tigers, man. Really enjoyed it.
I appreciate that, Alan. And believe me, if I take the time out of my day to make a video specifically about you, then you should take that as a compliment, sir.
All right. You guys have a great night.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, let's grab one more call. We got the 629 calling in. Let's see what he's got. You're on with Catfish, Lawtide, and Pigskin Peete. What you got?
How you doing, Catfish? The Ball General.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, well, this Jim Chaney hire, in my opinion, it's a home run, period. Nothing more to see about it. Good, the contract details. Here's what's going to happen. UGA offered $1.5 million to keep Jim Chaney. That's a $1.5 million raise. He turned it down for this offer from Tennessee. It's a 3-year contract. Year one, he will be making $1.5 million. Then that will go up to $1.6 next year, and then it'll be $1.7 million in year three. That's the highest paid offensive coordinator in the nation, and it's worth it, basically. When you look at his coaching experience, there's 37 years altogether. Has put more NFL draft picks than any other coordinator in the league right now. And that's something the UT is in desperate need of right now, coaching experience. And that's what Jim Chaney brings to the table. And, it's a great hire, in my opinion. What do you think about it, Catfish?
Well, I don't think it's a home run until the ball goes over the fence in fair territory, and that will be told when the season kicks off. I think he's a good coach. I think he's actually a real good coach. I mean, it's like Couch Coach said. He said, he might be able to win you a division, but he hasn't proven to be championship material. And a lot of me wonders how much Georgia's woes this year was maybe on Kirby. I don't know, but I'm going to wait and see, but I'm going to stick behind my coach, Jeremy Pruitt. If Jeremy Pruitt says it's a home run, I'm just going to sit back and watch. And then, like I said, ask me after the Alabama game how I feel about it.
Well, yeah, I feel similar. I think it's a good hire. I think it's a great hire. I'm not going to say – I really feel when it was first done as if it was a home run hire, just in the direction that this coaching search was going. You're starting to feel like the 2017 head coaching search. 41 days, that's how long it lasted. Couldn't find anybody, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in the middle of the basketball game, they announced Jim Chaney. And when you look at the other candidates, I think it is a home run in comparison to some of the other candidates, because the other candidates were Jeff Levy of UCF. Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah.
Compared to those, I really think it's a home run hire. But again, like you said, we won't know.
I agree with that. It could have been a whole lot worse, and I'm just glad we've got somebody respectable. I don't think he's garbage. So compared to what it could have been, and it was looking like it was going to turn into another coaching search fiasco, and we got a good coach, and let's see what he can do with it, and I'm excited. We're going to the damn playoffs. I don't care what Pigskin Peete says. I don't care what Lawtide says. We're going to the damn playoffs, so we'll see.
I agree. You're going to the playoffs in 2025.
Well, before I let you go, tell me what you thought about that national championship game.
I thought I picked Clemson to win that game, but I didn't pick Clemson to win it by 100 points. I didn't think they were going to blow out Alabama. I did predict Clemson to win in a close, high-scoring game, but it was really enjoyable to watch Clemson blow out Alabama because we don't get to see that happen often.
Well, I didn't have them winning. I had them covering the spread, and I said on my show they're going to cover the 6.5, but I thought that Alabama was going to win. I felt like the window of this game before the game started, I said it's going to be 5 or 6 point Clemson win all the way over to a max of like a 13, 14 point Alabama win, and anything in between that I felt it would be, and I was wrong. I mean, I wasn't even close. And I'm just jealous of Lawtide. He might have lost, but, man, what I would give to be in Lawtide's shoes right now, having been in the national championship. I joke around. It's highly doubtful. I mean, anything's possible. We're going to the championship game. But Nick Saban, regardless of the outcome of this game, is the best coach in history, right behind General Neyland. But I saw some things in that game, like Lawtide said, I never thought I'd see a Nick Saban coach team do. But anyway, what else is going on with Tennessee? Any new recruits we're trying to get? I know we got a 5-star offensive lineman that's looking at us.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah, but one more, before I get to that, I'll get to that in a minute. But one more thing about the coaching staff. A lot of rumors, a lot of steam is getting right now behind P. Martin, Tennessee, as a position coach right now. He was a candidate for the Miami OC job. That looks like it's not going to happen now. He was a candidate at UCLA. Not going to happen, it looks like. And Tennessee and Jeremy Pruitt have had multiple conversations with P. Martin to possibly bring him on staff as a recruiter. They would have to let somebody go because the staff is full right now. My guess would probably be the running back coach, Chris Winkie, the wide receivers coach, David Johnson. But right now, it looks like P. Martin could be on staff for Tennessee next season.
That'd be good.
Yeah, and about the recruit, right now, 5-star offensive tackle. He's the number 1 offensive tackle in the nation. His name's Darnell Wright from West Virginia. Tennessee's without a doubt the leading school in his recruitment. It looks like it's down between Tennessee, West Virginia, and Georgia, and he's from West Virginia, so that's why the Mountaineers are in the mix there. Crystal Ball has about a 95% chance for Tennessee right now. He has scheduled his last visit to the University of Tennessee, and I also don't see any way we don't get him. That would probably put Tennessee into the top 10.
Yeah. That'd be fantastic. We've been needing a damn offensive line for a long time now, and we've already got one good solid recruit. We need to just keep plugging along on offensive line. So,
And
anyway, what else you got?
Yeah, well, just one more thing, and I'll get off here and let you get another call. Do you think there's any way, because right now the betting odds are released, I saw this somewhere, maybe it was you, maybe. Jalen Hurts, one of his top schools on betting right now is Tennessee. I think they're 9th and 10th, maybe. They're in the top 10. Do you think there's any way possible we could get Jalen Hurts to the University of Tennessee?
Oh, God, Jim Chaney and Jalen Hurts, that's a nightmare.
Anything's possible. I doubt it. I don't know that he's going to go anywhere in the SEC. It's like Lawtide said, Auburn would be a great fit for him. Heck, Tennessee would be a great fit. Yeah, there's a chance. I mean, if there's any animosity at all about Alabama, which I don't know that it is because Jalen Hurts has got a great character, but, you know, what better place to go and to play against Alabama than Tennessee? I mean, he could be a legend, but I don't know. How many more years of eligibility does he have left, Lawtide? Just one, isn't it?
Yeah, he just got 1 year left.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get a system in place for a 1-year player like that. So I don't know. I doubt it. I think he's going to TCU or possibly Houston. I really think TCU probably be somewhere he'd go. Where's he from, Lawtide? Where's he out of?
He's out of Houston.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He played at Channelview. Yeah, Channelview High School out of Houston. I mean, his daddy's a high school coach. He coached him through high school.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can see why Houston's really high on those betting odds, and TCU's way up there too. So I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Mm.
All right,
I
buddy.
wish him luck because he.
Go ahead, Lawtide.
I just wish him luck because he's been a great leader at University of Alabama. Won us conference championships, got us to the show numerous times. Yep. And I wish him luck. I mean, he's a great person, and whoever's getting him, getting a great leader and a great man. So good luck to him.
Yeah. All right, Vol General, I appreciate it. I've got to get on off of here. I've got a few more questions for Lawtide and Pigskin Pete, but anybody else that wants to call the show, 855-489-7623. Tell me what you're looking forward to. Tell me about your season next year. How are you feeling about that, Lawtide? Anything as far as the recruiting? How much longer do we have to put up with Saban? How much longer is Saban going to be here?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He remembers his losses more than he does his wins.
Yeah.
So I expect him to be really motivated this spring. I mean, he's probably motivated right now. We're about to finish up our class. I think we're going to finish number 1, just ahead of Georgia. Got some good kids coming in. Got some studs coming in. Trey Saunders, kid from IMG Academy, number 1 running back. He's a stud. Got Tua's brother coming in. He's going to be backing up Tua probably. Thule, whatever his name is. But we'll be all right. I'm just ready for spring ball to get going and start working for another conference title and see if we can get another shot at Clemson because we know they're going to be there because ain't nobody in the ACC going to beat them.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. I mean, they got easy road. They got a real easy road. I mean, if they don't get injuries, and that's one thing that hurt us in the playoffs a little bit when we lost Christian Miller. I don't know if he done a big job, but he's one of our big pass rushers, and he couldn't go. That hurt us in the national championship game. But we got some boys coming back. That could have went pro. Raquan Davis, he's coming back. Deontay Thompson, he's talking about coming back. So Mac Wilson's coming back. So we're gonna load up. We're gonna try to do what Clemson did this year and get some redemption. But we gotta get better, especially rushing the passer and not throwing the ball in triple coverage. So.
Well, Pigskin, before I ask you the same question, I've got to do a shout out to all the great people that watch this show. Joshua Simmons, Killer Mime, SCC Dog, Lee Smith, MCD Sports 4. Let's see who else is in here. Aaron Short, G White 713, Luke McFarland. He's looking forward to Tennessee basketball. Appreciate you coming in here, Luke. Dennis Wilson, he's always in here. Crazy Ryan, Crying Ryan, Florida Gator fan. I tell you what, you don't let that Michigan win go to your head, Ryan. I tell you, don't let the cart get ahead of the horse. You just got lucky. I mention Joshua Simmons. Clemson Carson's in here. One of your boys, Pigskin's in here. Let's see. I can't scroll like I normally do with all this stuff going on this computer. Herbert Bradford, great Tennessee fans in here. I think I mentioned SEC Dog. Thomas Volunteers is in here. I seen Alan V was in here, college basketball talk. There's a bunch of yous in here, but Pigskin, tell me about your year coming up. You've got the golden boy, Goldilocks. That quarterback, I tell you what, he's just impressive. He impressed me. I didn't think he could do what he did in that national championship game. But what are you looking forward to out of your team next year? And any nuggets of players coming to your team, or maybe second stringers that's got to step up? Who's leaving the team early? Anything like that? Tell us about it.
All right. Well, I mean, the first and most notable thing is this offense next year go ahead and write it down. It's going to be the highest scoring, most prolific offense in the country. If you're an Oklahoma fan, I'm sorry about your luck. I know you're used to claiming that, but almost everybody across the board on this offense is coming back. We're so young on offense. We're losing Renfro, but he'll be replaced easily by Amari Rodgers, who's been, already kind of playing that role anyway at the slot position. But the running backs are coming back, the quarterback, almost all the receivers. We do have a couple of spots on the offensive line. They're going to be replaced, but these guys are being replaced with people that were there this year and got some playing time, and they're highly recruited guys. So I'm not too worried about the offensive line. But the most notable thing that everyone's talking about is the defense. We've got the majority of the defense is leaving for the NFL. The entire defensive line, both linebackers, a couple of the corners. So that's really where we need to shore things up. Now, as far as defensive end goes, we've got two guys that are already on the team this year that were 5-star recruits, Xavier Thomas and KJ Henry. KJ Henry was redshirted, but Xavier Thomas played a lot of time this year. And I'm going to go ahead, for anybody who's listening who hasn't been following Clemson football, go ahead and write that name down, Xavier Thomas. This guy is an absolute freak of an athlete. He will probably be the first defensive end taken whenever he does come out. Just go watch his highlights from this year. He's off the charts good. So everybody will know about him next year. The biggest area of concern really is at linebacker. And that's been an area of concern. It's been one of our thinner areas. We had two really experienced guys who were very good playing that position this year, but there was a little bit of a drop off after that. So we'll see how we fill that in. But next year, listen, I hate to say it. I think we'll be back in the playoffs, like Lawtide just said. Nobody in the ACC is going to be able to compete with us. But I'm not delusional enough to think. I'm still a jaded Clemson fan, being a Clemson fan my whole life. I never take this stuff for granted, and I never think that somehow we're just automatically going to be put in there. So, I think we'll get there, but getting there and winning it is two totally different things. So, I'm optimistic, but I'm waiting with bated breath.
Well, I think that if the odds-on favorite right now for the Heisman has to be Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I'm sure Tua's going to have a lot to say about that, but is Hunter Renfro going to be the only player in college football history that can go right from playing for a college team right to getting a senior citizen discount at Denny's?
Yeah. He actually enrolled at Clemson in 1992. A lot of people don't know that. He's been there for a while.
Well, before we get off of here, tell me about them Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? What are they going to do? They going to get another win under the belt for Jerry Jones? I seen Jerry Jones bought like a $250 million super yacht. Tell me about them Cowboys, Lawtide.
Man, we're going to go out to Cali and get some of them Rams. We'll probably have more fans there than they got. And all I know is we're just going to have to run the ball. Gurley's not going to play for the Rams. That'll be a big help, with their offense. But, golf has been real good for the Rams. They've won a bunch of football games. Everybody's wanting the Chiefs and the Rams in the Super Bowl because of that Monday night, or I think it was Monday or Sunday night shootout they had. But, we'll see what we got. We punched Seattle in the mouth and got that game won. So hopefully we can punch these Rams in the mouth and get us another and get on in that conference championship. But I think we're probably going to end up playing New Orleans if we win. So that's who I got in the NFC. So AFC, I don't care about them.
Well, I think it's going to be the Chiefs, but Dak Prescott hit the league like a game busters, like a tornado. He could do no wrong, and then he had a sophomore slump. Is he back to full gear?
Man, you either got good Dak or bad Dak, and I like when Dak is on. When Dak is on, he's hard to stop, but when Dak is off, oh, it's bad. But here lately he's been doing pretty good since we brought in Amari Cooper. He's done a lot better. He's throwing the ball a lot better. He's it's kind of opened the offense up for him. He's finally got number one receiver. And man, it's you know, he's been playing good for like the last 8 weeks, so hopefully he keeps it up.
I seen on your Facebook right after you got Cooper, I believe from the Raiders, where you put "Built by Bama." How many Bama boys you got on that team?
On the Cowboys team,
Yeah,
he's the only one.
only one.
He's the only one. He's the only one. But man, I've wanted him. Oh man, every time we pass him in the draft, I'm like, "What are you doing, Jerry?" Because we could have got Cooper a long time ago. We could have drafted Cooper a long time ago, and we could have drafted Ridley this year. But man, it's just how it is being a Cowboys fan. He likes them Big Ten boys. I don't know what it is. He likes them Big Ten boys. He likes them Penn State linebackers. They get hurt their rookie year and they ain't never the same. So it's just part of being a Cowboy fan. You never know what you're going to get.
Could you tell everybody on the Volunteer Roadshow that you miss Tennessee's own, the great Jason Witten?
Oh man. Let me tell you something. He's the best thing ever come out of Tennessee. He's a good guy, man. He was a team leader. He played on a lot of bad Cowboys teams, but he played on a few good ones too. And he'll be a first round. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah.
He ain't much of a commentator though.
No, he ain't like Tony. Tony, he's got a gift gab, but I miss his blocking, and we was trying to bring him out of retirement there, but he turned it down. But yeah, we missed him on the line this year. I tell you, he's a heck of a blocker, and he's just a heck of a pro.
Well, Pigskin, I would ask you about how your Panthers are doing in the playoffs, but they're not in the playoffs. But how they doing? How'd your season go with the Panthers? Are you pretty upset about how the year went?
Man, I'll tell you one thing. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. Before the season started, I thought they were going to be terrible because they had a new owner, new coordinators. They've been drafting bad for year after year after year after year, and I had absolutely no faith in the Panthers. And then they go and give me some kind of hope and go 6-2, and I start beating my chest thinking we're going to win the South, we're going to go to the playoffs, make the run at the Super Bowl, and then they lose 9 straight, man. I mean, I don't even know what to say about the Carolina Panthers. I'm so over it. I don't believe in anything they do until they actually do it at this point. So I'm just kind of just sitting back and licking my wounds with that one.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't watch a lot in NFL. I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again. College football is the best sport on the planet, better than NFL, Major League Baseball, better than them 2 communist sports, soccer and hockey, and better than the NBA. It's just really because of the fans. And you fans that watch Pigskin Peete, Lawtide, myself, BVD, our buddy Uncle Lou, y'all are what makes college football great. I can't say enough how much I appreciate it. But we're going to get on off of here. For those of you that have watched me a while, y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Pigskin Peete and Lawtide's going to have to look out for my Vols next year because we're going to the college football playoffs. I promise you that.